Hello, hello. Okay, getting set up here. My mom gave me this set. It's from Talbot's from like the literal 90s. I'm like, it's kind of a vibe. I like it. Yeah, we're doing a different angle today in my office because my desk is a wreck. So we're not gonna be filming over there. Yeah, let's get into it. Grab your drinks. I have my water, I have my fizzy, and I have my caffeine. So if you know the triad, you know. Um, Something I literally just woke up like 20 minutes ago from a great, amazing nap. Something that's been on my mind in those 20 minutes is this idea that we don't like allow ourselves the opportunity to rest anymore, or it's very, you really have to like learn that in a society that values productivity and like cleanliness, I guess, like aesthetic homes. You know, that's what we see a lot of on social media. Um, and it feels like there's less of a value on like taking care of your body, taking care of your mental, resting when your body needs to. And when I say that too, I bet people are like, what the fuck does that even mean? Because it's so removed from like the mainstream that people don't even know what that means anymore, to like listen to your body and to be aware of like your own needs. We value this productivity and this like going. Oh god, finally. I feel like that burp was gonna come out for a few minutes. God, that's good. And we're not, we ignore the needs of our physical body and our mental body to reach success, to be productive, to yeah, get accolades in life. And we think that we can't rest and like be productive when actually resting is so productive, because you could either take a nap or you could take, you know, a cup of coffee, an energy drink, whatever. That energy drink is fake energy. So you're going to feel like, woo, let's go. But what are you doing in the long term to your body versus a nap? Like, how much would a nap make you feel restored and rested and good? You know, like we have these trade-offs, and some people, I feel like so many people think that, oh, if you have caffeine, that'll like help you not be tired. When in reality, it's like, well, why are you tired? And what's your body trying to tell you by it being tired? It's like, probably we need to take a rest. Napping is like frowned upon in American society. It's like, oh, you're lazy if you nap and you suck if you nap. And I would love to change this narrative. I know I'm just one person, but hopefully, you know, ripple effects are powerful, and hopefully, even though I am just one person, I can like spread this message. Do you live cools? Cooks? Do you live cook? No, I have not live cooked. How are you? I'm good. Like I said, I just woke up from a nap, so I'm feeling like I want to talk about that today, of just like the importance of resting and the importance of also being able to tune into your own body and be like, what do I need? And I am having a matcha right now because it's like, that like feels good to me. It's not like, oh, I need a matcha to wake up. It's like, I had my nap and now I want to like be able to talk and like be clear and yeah, be like awake. And so I'm gonna have like not even a whole cup of matcha. It's like made myself a half cup. But you don't just have to like slam caffeine. You don't just have to ignore your body. Like, how often are we like sitting at our computer or sitting working and we're like, fuck, my shoulder hurts. And like, we don't just stop and be like, oh wow, my body's talking to me. Let me just stop real quick, do some shoulder rolls. And actually, let's all do that together. I've been in physical therapy now for 3 weeks. And so these are like some things that I've started to do, and I'm feeling a difference in my back because my mid back has to actually work to support me now because I'm actually standing more like this and not just like this. So, um, this is such like a visual thing for me, but like get the, we'll say like touch your shoulder blades together. So it's very subtle from what it looks like. It feels very like a lot. Hey, just see a comment. Okay. So we're gonna just squeeze those shoulder blades. And this is like literally something you can do in the middle of your day. If you are at your computer a lot, if you're like working at a desk, like rolling out the wrists, doing even like one of these, stretching out your wrists, doing this on the chair. And like, I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and now I live just outside Boulder, Colorado. So in Oklahoma, it was definitely like I felt like the weirdest person in the room sometimes because I did want to like stretch, or I'm like at the library like napping on the floor, when I was in school. And and now like it's nice to be in a place where like I do feel like I just have permission to be the weirdest bitch because there's gonna be someone weirder than you in Boulder. It's like a nice comfort. And I am back in like corporate America, and I'm working there part time. But during the training, we had to do like 8 hours just sitting there. That was my first like 8 hour day in probably 4 or 5 years, probably 4 years. And I could not just like sit still. And I brought my yoga mat into this like training, and I was like sitting on the floor, like listening, but like stretching at the same time. And like, I wish that was more normalized, especially, I'm here for the postpartum support group. And so, especially when you're postpartum and you're like, potentially body feeding and you are like hunched over like this, like paying that attention to our bodies. And it also is like taking a bath. God, what's something else I do for my body? Just laying on the floor, just laying on the couch sometimes. Like sometimes you just need to chill and trust that that rest that you're doing is going to be productive. It doesn't feel like it because we are so trained, um, in American society. And I know there's a lot of people here from India. Um, there's that value on productivity and the value on success and accolades. But like, what if we could, in our own minds, switch that to my rest is productive, my creating is productive. Like, even if you just sit there and sketch for a minute, like, why is it acceptable to do those things like high school and before, but then like once you hit adulthood, you are now like not supposed to draw, or it's like seen as like a child thing, even like playing at a playground. Like, I love playing with my kids at playgrounds. I'm short, so I'm almost as tall as some of the kids there, but um it feels nice to just like play and like almost rebellious to do these things that like adults aren't supposed to do. I do think that the key, I'm only 31, but I do feel like the key to living like a youthful life is continuing to play, continuing to explore, like I'm still, going and exploring the Boulder Creek when I used to like grow up doing that in Oklahoma. That's so fun for me. And again, we don't do these things as adults because we think, oh, I don't have time. Like, I got bills to pay, I have responsibilities now. But just like you would schedule a doctor appointment because it's like the right thing to do, why can't we schedule in more rest? Why can't we like play? Why can't we, especially if for those of you watching that do have babies, like, you know, playing with babies, hearing a baby's laugh is like so pure, and doing like, I don't know, I do stinky feet with my babies where you're like, actually, let me go check out my small one real quick. Nico? You okay? Okay. Yeah, you're not drinking the bathwater, right? Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, stinky feet with like a baby. You can just be like, oh, those are stinky feet, and like smell their feet. They go crazy for that. And that like sense of play just puts in such like joy to my soul. And I know I'm not the only one. Um, so I want us to like play more and explore more and just draw or color. Like grab a coloring book and get some fun markers and just color for the hell of it. Not because you're trying to, for me, like I have sold some artwork, and so for a long time I kind of had to like back away from art because I did do it. Yeah, for a minute it got to be like, okay, I like have to make money from this, and then it just like crushes your creativity, and I couldn't do it anymore. And then this was like one of my most recent ones I've done, and it like, you know, doesn't really make any sense. It's still obviously not done. But it's like, it was just fun when I look at it. Like, it just makes me so happy because it's just a fun, it was so fun. I just was like playing with color. I have another one on my other wall that you've probably seen in my other videos that was just fun and like freeing to make. So I know it's hard, and especially if you are like, I am in corporate America, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I have, you know, my own business. I have my YouTube channel. I have my Instagram that recently actually got deleted. So trying to rebuild that, following back up. But um, yeah, I mean, I am kind of all over the place. And so I know for me, sometimes it feels like I don't have time to rest, or like if I nap in the day, then I don't also have time to like be creative or like draw or whatever. And I'm saying this just as a, just also as a reminder to myself, but like, you do have time to play, you do have time to do art. And like, even as I'm looking at this, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna work on this, I'm gonna like paint today. And like, give yourself permission to do something, not because it's productive or it's gonna make you money, but just because you fucking want to, and just because it feels good. I think getting out of our logical brain and doing something that is more creative is so good for our mental state. Um, and like, I don't know, again, like going to the gym would be seen as something that's productive and like rewarded in society. But how can we like also, like in a yoga class, for example, there's the hard part, the yoga part, the asana part, if it's a yang class, and then you get to the end and there's shavasana. And how many times have you been in a yoga class and people just slip out because they're like, no, not worth my time, this isn't worth my time to do shavasana, like I got somewhere to be. And that's so ass backwards to me. Like, why are we not, that is the most restorative part of your practice, and I've heard it said so many times in classes, but that is where the benefits of yoga soak in. If you're just there for the physical activity and then you bounce, you're not absorbing like the healing that just took place in your body. You're not allowing your body to catch up with your mind, because our mind is going 1,000 miles a minute and our body is kind of left behind. And if we're not in tune with, how does my body feel, how does my mind feel, like it can lead to some really heavy mental health shit. Unaliving, you know, people unalive themselves every day, and that was like a big thing of what made me start recording and start like showing up online, was like, if I can deter even just one person from unaliving themselves, like that's worth it to me. And so that's like kind of the through line of like my message and what it continues to be, like why I show up on these lives. This is a postpartum depression, or this is a postpartum support group. I really suffered with postpartum depression and postpartum rage, and like the number one factor for mortality in for maternal mortality is unaliving themselves. And also, like, I'm just gonna say it because it's an important fact, but um, I think that the risk for like Black and Brown women is actually um, more so like the care that they receive, because the yeah, their risk is like crazy for um, more for the birth, I think, than postpartum. But that's like something that I'd like to address just as a postpartum doula and a birth worker in general. Um, but yeah, can you look at your rest? Can you look at where you think you are doing things out of productivity, out of that reward, and can you reframe and find a new perspective on something like um, rest, as in like watching TV on the couch and just chilling and not like scrolling your phone, like actually like watching something that you enjoy that is like engaging to you. Um, Scrolling your phone can be like a nice way to numb out, but doing that for hours and hours, like just saying it, is not good for our mental health. That's just not. Watching a show for 8 hours like could be good for your fucking mental health. I don't know. If you're sitting on a couch and your back isn't like talking to you that it's hurting, that's all right in my eyes. And I want to give you that permission that like if you want to just veg the fuck out and like take a break from the world for a couple days, like you can do that. And I know that we have the weekends, but like you can also do that on a weeknight. Like fuck making dinner for the family. Fuck the laundry and the dishes. Like this is something I harped about on my old Instagram, and now I gotta like repost those things and like find new things to post with that same message. But like we don't have to prioritize the dishes and the laundry and the productive things. I know that it's nice to like have a clean home and to have those things done, and sometimes you can't forfeit laundry. But like on the days that you can, do it. On the days where you're like, I'm so tired, I'm so beat, like normalize not trudging through that and white knuckling through that, and just allowing yourself to be and be like, I just want to watch, for me, it's Grey's Anatomy. Like, that's my comfort show. And so I just want to watch Grey's Anatomy sometimes. I just want to lay in bed and cuddle with my babies. And for like 2 days this last week, I did just literally watch Grey's Anatomy all day. And like while my kids at school, before I went to work, I work, yeah, at nights. And so it's like, I have the days open, and a lot of the times it feels like, okay, I need to do laundry, I need to do dishes, I need to like keep the house clean. And I just said fuck all that. And it was so freeing, and also it felt like, oh my god, what am I doing? I'm like being a shitty person. And you will have to work through those fears and like limiting beliefs that come up. But like you can do it. You if you're here and you are someone that has given birth, like you gave birth, you grew a fucking human. Like you can work through thoughts that come up that say that you're a shitty person because you're resting, especially when you're postpartum. Oh my god. And postpartum is like 2 years, I think 2 years minimum. It's like 2 to 7 years, new like studies are showing. But you especially need rest in those times. And it's so hard to get rest during those times because you're not only sleep deprived because baby's like waking up all the time. Hang on, I gotta take this fucking thing off. Baby's not only waking up all the time, but you have so much laundry because your baby is throwing up all the time. You have maybe dishes because hopefully you're like ordering out a little bit and like taking a break from cooking, or you have a support person there that is cooking for you. but there is so much to do when a baby is born, and I hope that, as annoying as the advice to sleep when the baby sleeps can be, it's sometimes like you're not going to get to sleep a full 8 hours at night or even 7 hours. Like you might get a couple hours of sleep at night. And so you really have to normalize napping in the daytime sometimes. And you really got to normalize ignoring the mountain of laundry because you've got to rest. And especially like being an advocate for yourself in that postpartum time of like this rest isn't going to happen without me. And truly, I don't think I would have learned how to rest and like fully slow down and stop putting my value in my productivity if I didn't go through pregnancy and postpartum. Because when pregnancy, it's like I'm taking care of this other human, like I'm growing this other human, so I have to rest. You're also tired to where you don't really have an option. And then postpartum, it's like, okay, I'm not pregnant, like I feel a little better. I can like move around now, and it almost feels like I gotta get back to work. Like I gotta get back to like being productive and like not napping all the time. Like the baby's here, so I can't nap. There's too many things to do around the house. When in reality, like the chores are gonna be there. So prioritize you and prioritize your mental needs and your physical needs. If you need to stretch, if you need to, also your social needs, because having a baby at home is so, I'm going to say the word I want to use is boring, but what I'll say is like not very stimulating sometimes, especially for people who do, like I was a scientist and then I was like, went from doing science in a lab to like being at home with my kids. And I was so bored, and I like really, really, really missed the adult interaction. And that's like part of why I'm back like part time in corporate America, because I just like having adult interaction. You kind of, I went a little crazy at home, and I know a lot of people do, because you don't have adults and you're like relying on maybe your husband or your wife to come home and like talk to you, and they're tired, they've had a long day, so you're just like, okay, I guess I'm just lonely. So especially in the time of postpartum, but even beyond, like we've got to be able to recognize our needs. And oh, is my pillow up here? There's like a feelings wheel, you can Google it. But also like being able to identify how you feel in the moment is a really helpful just mental tool to help you like separate from your emotions a little bit and realize like I'm not my emotion, like I'm feeling angry and frustrated and like disappointed and sad, maybe even like joyful, and I'm feeling like happy right now, and getting a little bit of space and noticing like this isn't going to last forever. Even the joy, it's as much as that's like a hard thing to swallow, like it's not going to last forever. So what am I going to do about that, and how can I like take care of myself, and how can I stop this like societal norm of just pushing through my discomfort. Sometimes it's good to push through discomfort, like getting out of your comfort zone is obviously a very important thing. But when you're doing it at the expense of your body and your mind, I think that's where we like miss the beat. It's not helpful to be doing that. Okay, and I feel like I want to pull a card today. So this is the Animal Spirit deck. It's going to be backwards by Kim Kranz. I kind of know this deck, but I also still need the book, and my book is over there. So we're just going to see what comes out. Oh my goodness, we got a few. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, pick a number 1 through 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, you got your number 1 through 6. Any 2 numbers can come up for you if you're like, I'm gonna watch all 6. What time am I at? 25 minutes. Okay. All right, card number 1. Vulture. I, funnily enough, pulled this card during the pandemic, and it really hit me because um, vultures come in, and you think that they're like, sorry, you think that they're like scary. I mean, this card's like very dark. But vultures are necessary to come in, and like they're feeding on dead things, right? So they are clearing out disease. Um, oh my god, my child's done in the bath. Okay. Okay. So, vultures clearing out diseases. Um, where do you need to like clear the metaphorical cobwebs out of your life? We're talking about in this live note switching your beliefs from like being focused on productivity to actually being focused to like taking care of yourself. So maybe that is part of these beliefs that need to be shifted for you. Like, what do you need to clean out? Um, yeah, what needs to be cleaned out in your life? Let's see. And then this book I love because it has like, what is it? When in balance, when out of balance, little themes. Vulture. Okay. So when the vulture is in balance, it clarifies and reveals wisdom. When out of balance, it's dramatic and aggressive. So to bring into balance, clean your space and sage. Okay. Next card. The shark, my favorite animal. I actually majored in college in biology and have my degree in biology and chemistry and microbiology. Minors in those two. But I did that so that I could study sharks because I love them. Great white sharks in particular. If you didn't know, sharks are an apex predator. So they're at the top of the ecosystem. Without sharks patrolling the waters, and it's a problem right now because of overfishing. I'm gonna like nerd out for a second. You're just gonna have to bear with me. But so sharks are patrolling the waters. Overfishing is a problem because if the sharks aren't controlling the populations below the sharks will get out of control. The balance of the ocean will be off, and then we're not going to get the rain. We're either going to get too much rain or too little rain because that's the water cycle, leading to floods or drought, which is a huge issue. So if you didn't know, now you know. It says the shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. And this is, I'm gonna like use this to educate on sharks a little bit. But to me, what that means is like if you're flailing around in the water like prey, that is dangerous because if a shark is there and they think that you're prey, they're gonna come explore you and they don't have hands. And how are they gonna explore you? With their bites. So if you're aware of the shark in the water, you're still, you're calm. Follow Ocean Ramsey or Mermaid Kayla are really good accounts of people that actually work with sharks. Shark energy takes us over when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. It may be tempting to continue pretending nothing is wrong, but when shark energy is at play, we feel its presence encircling us, which can lead to like anxiety spirals. And anytime that we're ignoring our emotions, like I believe that our emotions, it's energy in motion, and that energy, if we're ignoring it and we're suppressing it, it's something that is unseen, but we are suppressing it in our body, and that energy is going to get stuck in our bodies. It's going to cause tension in your body, so it's calling your attention. And if you're just ignoring it, ignoring it, ignoring it, it's going to lead you to, it's going to start becoming loud enough that you can't ignore. So you might as well, um, like, acknowledge your fears, your doubts, your worries, your anxieties, and either with a friend or by yourself or with a therapist, and then move along from them. Um, the shark, when in balance, is intriguing, captivating, and mysterious. When out of balance, sneaky and destructive. So to bring into balance, honesty. So honesty with yourself, honesty with others. Maybe you need to set a boundary that you're not setting and you know that you need to set. I feel like that's definitely for somebody. Okay. Cosmic egg. This one I really don't know. The snake energy is why am I forgetting what Shakti energy? Okay, it says when the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there. So feeling like hopeless, especially if you are an entrepreneur watching this. I know that, I mean, even sometimes still I feel like that. And because I'm like not able to support myself financially fully with my business right now. So part of me being back in corporate America also is having that like stability. The potent energy of this card stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. And then this is like the picture. So it's very like infinity, it just keeps, the spirals keep going. So I guess I want to say to you, keep going. Like whatever it is that you feel like you're failing or you're stuck, keep going. There's going to be something, it'll all make sense. And this is morbid, but like, don't give up. Don't give up on life. Like, keep fighting in your life to feel good, to keep going forward. Like, there's infinite possibilities. You started this journey for a reason, so like keep going, see it through, and see what's there for you, even when you want to quit, because that is the discomfort that I want us to like learn to push through. Not the discomfort of like, oh, my body hurts and I really need to rest, but I'm going to keep doing this work, like at my desk and go to the gym even though I'm injured. Not that kind of discomfort. Pushing through the discomfort of like, I don't feel good enough. I don't feel good enough is a good discomfort to look at. But pushing through that and seeing what's underneath that surface. Okay. Fish is the next card. God, I feel like this is probably something with like going with the flow. Let's look. My BFF is a Pisces, so I always think of her. Okay, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. Right now, the moon is a waning moon. It's like a 3/4 moon. So maybe tonight you can like look at the night sky this weekend, take some time to just like, I know it's cold if you're in the northern hemisphere, but like be with the stars, be with the moon, and just like you would, what is that word called? Like candle gazing. You can like moon gaze and just like see if anything comes up for you. Also, we are in the last month of 2024, so looking at your 2025, actually making a close to year 2024 and be like, where was my direction? Where did I go? Where did I get lost? and how can I avoid those mistakes in 2025? Cool. Okay, card number 5 is the Fire Ant. Water. No, not that one. I feel like Fire Ant is like you're going and you're so busy and you can like spin out of control. Fire Ant flares up. Fire Ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned Fire Ant energy is at play. When in balance, we're thoughtful and disciplined. When out of balance, we argue, we have excess heat, and we gossip. To bring into balance, solo time and walks at night. And again, if you picked card number 5, maybe you are someone that also needs that, you know, time with the stars, time with the moon, just moon gazing, stargazing, what have you. Lamb. Lamb energy, I feel like, is like very docile, and what is that expression? A lamb and a wolf in sheep's clothing. Nico? You okay? Okay, the lamb. Lamb energy is the honest guidance you hear from an old friend, a young child, or sometimes a surprising stranger. It is peaceful, prophetic, and patient. It will repeat and reverberate until you listen. Approach this gentle creature with utmost patience and reverence. The truth is a gift. Sit still, listen, and receive. And when in balance, the lamb is knowingness and inner peace. When out of balance, there's quiet, timidness, and concerned. To bring into balance, meditation, listening. And I'm really feeling for this card. I mean, there are some blues in here, but just, I don't know. I feel like if this is your card, like, there is this meekness and this like wanting to fall in line and just be a good little girl, or yeah, you don't want to like stir the pot, but you speaking up for your needs, you setting boundaries, you being clear with what you will and what you will not accept is not you creating problems. That's you speaking up for yourself. So I really want to, if card number 6 was your card, I'd love to encourage you to speak up for yourself. Because yeah, that just really comes through strong. So guys, thank you for being here. Another postpartum support group in the books. I know a lot of people that were on here were not postpartum. Special? Okay, I can help you. You know, my little baby's here. We will be doing this. I will be doing this again next week. You want to show no mommy? Yeah. And yeah, we'll be live here again next week on YouTube. I think hopefully my husband will be home, so I won't have the distraction of my needles. Take care of yourself and know that productivity does not equal value. That was like the one takeaway I feel like I want you to walk away with today. Productivity is not your value, and rest is also important. Play is also important. Creativity is also important. So add those things into your life wherever you can today, even if it's just 5 minutes of coloring in a kid's coloring book. Like, that's not a waste of your time. Feeling good and just feeling at peace is valuable. So do the things that make you feel that way. And I'll see you guys next week.